Okay, so Batman's not the only DC superhero making an appearance this week. We actually got treated to a trailer for Man of Steel, which is the new Superman film that's coming out. I'll be the first to say, admittedly, I'm not speaking to you now as a huge comic book fan. So I don't know all the Superman lore. I just don't really know anything about Superman. I really appreciate comic book films and how they're doing lately. I've always been more of a Marvel guy, you know? Because I know there's such a big fan base behind all of these superheroes and comic books, you know, I think that's something that needs to be respected. And obviously with books, graphic novels, anything that gets adapted to the big screen, there's going to be a few changes made. I usually watch these comic book films and I'll just read up on them afterwards. I'll look into the comic book lore a little bit of self-teaching, just shed some light on a few things. Superman has never really been very appealing to me as a comic book character. I know as far as all the classic superhero mythology and lore and everything, he's one of the strongest characters there is. But I don't know, it's like Batman is pretty much the only superhero ever in the DC universe that's made an impact on me. I don't dislike DC, I'm more of a Marvel guy. I just favour Marvel more. I always think it's impressive when a film comes along that can change your mind about something. Batman, for instance, I've always loved Batman. Everyone's always loved Batman. What Christopher Nolan did with the Dark Knight trilogy, it just made me appreciate it that much more. So yeah, I've never really been into Superman. I think when I was younger, I appreciated him moderately. I never really got the whole thing about his secret identity, you know, how he's either Superman and then he's Clark Kent, but the only real difference between the two of them is that he takes his glasses off. No one knows who he is. I never really got that. You know, I'm sure a load of people have said this as well, but I don't get it. I don't like the way he looks. I don't like Superman's costume. It's like, I mean, I get the big S on the chest. You know, that's iconic. That's cool. They've all got their logos. The little red pants. Who does that? Like, who wears pants on top of it? It just doesn't look right. I think they've actually ditched the hot pants in Man of Steel. Like, I think a lot of, you know, hardcore fans have been complaining about it. I think they've lost the pants. They're gone. Probably for the best. This trailer really does function as a teaser. It does nothing else besides tease, and the film's not coming out for like another year, so it's a year from now. But it sets a really nice tone. The first thing I noticed about it was that the music's from Lord of the Rings. All I could really think about while I was watching it was I was thinking about Lord of the Rings more than I was taking in what was going on in this trailer. You know, it just made me relive some tragic times. Breaking of the Fellowship. Anyway, the music sets a good tone, it's there, and it seems to be like this is more or less, I guess more or less this is going to be another origin story for Superman. You see images of a young Clark Kent, and I guess it's going through his childhood, and there's lots of little nice touches, like he's playing around in the back garden with his dog. He's got a cape and he's messing around. He's pretending to be a hero, so I'm probably just talking rubbish here. There's probably more meaning to it than that. I don't know anything about Superman. I'm intrigued. Colour me intrigued. It's being produced by Chris Nolan. If you don't know who Chris Nolan is, he did the Dark Knight trilogy. That's all I need to say, right? David S. Goyer, who was a co-writer on Batman Begins, is writing the script for it. And then we have Zack Snyder, who is going to be actually directing. And I think that's a winning combination. I think that's a good team. Zack Snyder's films are visually stunning. They just are. That's what everyone says about them. He's done a Dawn of the Dead remake. He's done graphic novel adaptations like 300 and Watchmen. And then he did Sucker Punch, it was nice to look at, you know, for a lot of different reasons it was nice to look at. It just wasn't, it wasn't really up there with, you know, cutting edge filmmaking. So there's a voiceover throughout this trailer by Russell Crowe, who's playing Jor-El, and I guess that's Superman's biological father. How's my aim? It's setting the tone for the film. It's about how he's gonna rise up to accomplish great things and lead the people and inspire good and all that. You know, superhero stuff.
You will give the people an ideal to strive towards. They will race behind you. They will stumble. They will fall.
There's actually another version of the trailer where the voiceover is by Kevin Costner, who's playing Clark Kent's adoptive father. And it's more or less the same message coming across. He's just talking more about Clark Kent needs to make a choice, you know, at some point in his life. Will it be good? Will it be bad? Whereas Russell Crowe's version is just, he's telling him that he's going to accomplish great things. The visuals look nice for what we see. We don't see much at all, but you can tell this is going to be a Zack Snyder film. I don't know what it is, but like there's shots of like a young Clark Kent running through grass and like playing, and it's just everything with long, tall grass looks good. I think it all harkens back to Gladiator, you know, with Maximus and his hand and the whole. You know what I'm talking about.
But in time, they will join you in the sun. In time, you will help them accomplish wonders.
You see an older Clark Kent working on a fishing vessel. I guess this must be during part of his life where he's deciding what he wants to do, who he wants to be. These fishing vessels aren't very safe, so something horrific's probably going to happen, and then he'll end up saving everybody, and then he'll be like, I'm Superman. Now, this being a trailer for a Superman film, they got to show a little bit of Superman. You know, it's a year away, but fans need their fix. And you do get this one final shot of Superman just flying straight up into the air. I like what they're doing lately with superhero film titles, like they're naming the films after different things that the superheroes have been called in their respective comic books. Like we've had a lot of different Batman films and games and comics, and he's always been known as the Dark Knight, but Christopher Nolan's film trilogy, that's established him as the Dark Knight. And now we've got Superman, but they're calling it Man of Steel. It just sounds good. Like you could say to someone, have you seen a new trailer for Man of Steel? And they'll be like, what's that? And you'll be like, oh, it's a new Superman film. Might be cool. So maybe one day we'll have a Spider-Man film or something called Web Slinger or Wall Crawler, you know, something like that. That'd be cool, right? So that's really all about there is to say. Leave some comments down below. Let me know, what's your favourite Superman film ever? Do you think you're going to like Man of Steel? What do you think about the trailer? Are you looking forward to it? You're not looking forward to it? Couldn't you care less? And that's about it. So until next time, see you later.